Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning.
Reverend Tracey is away, and that means I will play. The first thing to tell you is my name. I am J.M. Gibbons. I am your humble platform assistant for this morning. And I also think it's time for us to wave to all our friends in Webbyland. Just give them a quick wave. Thank you. Welcome for attending our service. Today we have a special artist and presenter, Mr. Charlie Thweat. That's Thweat. I had to check that 3 times to get it right. And now I am going to offer you the announcements. The very first announcement is this. Our flowers today are by Kim and Mitchell, and you can't have them. Actually, I was going to buy them myself for my lovely wife, but between coming in the morning and going back out, they were already purchased by by Cynthia Barnes, who wishes to dedicate them to her friend Leslie as she is welcomed home from rehab today. She'll be coming home on the 12th. That's today. Our prayer chaplain today happens to be Cynthia Barnes, too. Cynthia. She'll be up here for confidential prayer by the stained glass window just after the service. Tony Klein will be doing our daily word reading for us. Our ushers today are Tony Klein and Denise Carr, I hope. I think I see her out there, yeah. And our special musicians, our music will be provided by Charlie Thweat as part of his presentation today. The audiovisual support team, the guys without which I couldn't do much good up here, Rob Earhart, Ryan Mills, Mark Blair, and Bob Filbert. What a nut. Hey, look, I write my own material. What can I tell you? Anyway, you may recall my last visit up here was a month ago on Mother's Day. Mother's Day is when we had Palm Harbor's very first flash mob perform the Mother song. Those who heard it later referred to them as the flush mob, but I know that we can do better, so stay tuned. Reverend Marilyn's new Unity class, Discerning Your Purpose, is now full. You can't get into that either. The classes begin Monday, June 26th at 10 a.m., and again on Tuesday, June 27th at 2 p.m., and you have homework before the first class. I'm asking Reverend Marilyn, wherever she is, to come up and say just a few words with regard to the class and some of the other wonderful things you'll be doing. Reverend Marilyn.
Thank you. Appreciate the announcement. Even though the class is full, I want you to know that we will look at possibly doing a third section maybe later in the year so that all of you that wanted to get in or wanted a night class, we might be able to work that out. I've sent an email out to most of the people that have signed up for the class. I'll finish sending the email out tonight. And so if you didn't get one or if you don't get one by tomorrow morning, please let me know and we'll make sure that you get the information. Looks like we have about 8 books in the foyer. I hope you will get a book. I know some people will like to take classes and not have the book or not read the book, but the way I offer this class, it's more experiential, so reading the book is going to help you a lot. And, excuse me, if we run out of books and you don't get one, I encourage you to try to find one online somewhere. We have struggled trying to get enough books for everybody. I'm blown away by well over 30 people signed up for this class. So try to do that. And if you haven't opened your email yet, it basically gives you a link to the Myers-Briggs, which you need to have that done. It's a little personality test, and you get a little printout of it. So have that done before you come to class, and please read the introduction and chapter 1 before class time. Thank you.
Now, as I like to say, please listen carefully as our options may have changed. There's also a radio show called Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. And one of the features they have each Sunday morning when they broadcast it on NPR is a series of stories that are told that sound outrageous, but one of them has at least a kernel of truth in it, wouldn't you say? Yeah? Some of the people that listen to it. So as I read the announcements, it'll be up to you to decide which ones are real and which ones are fig Newtons of my imagination. All right, first announcement. Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., a Course in Miracles, facilitated by Alicia Stevens and Conferlit Carney. The Low Self-Esteem Support Group will meet on Thursday. Please use the back door. Wednesday evening, 7 p.m., join Deborah and Pauline for a crystal bowl meditation and Reiki. Thursday morning at 10 a.m. will be yoga with instructor Lenka. And then the Uniteens will be presenting Shakespeare's Hamlet on Friday at 7 p.m. The congregation is invited to attend this tragedy. Now, please check out our website, unityofpalmharbor.org, as we continually update our growing event list. While on the site, you can also make donations through PayPal. Are you a consistent giver? Please call Luann in the office Tuesday through Thursday, or set us up online from your own checking account to automatically make your contributions. We truly appreciate your support for all that we do here at Unity of Palm Harbor. And now, without objection, as they said Thursday night, I hereby invite Conferlit Carney, our board treasurer, to the platform for a few words about tithing.
Good morning, Unity of Palm Harbor. Reverend Tracey asked me to share with you what the meaning of tithing and giving is to me. And I will do that, and I will share some other things as well. And I'll be quick because I know we came to hear Charlie. He didn't come to hear me. Yes. What tithing means and giving means to me is in any given year, all of the income that flows into my hand from the universe, I give at least 10%. At least 10%. I view it as flowing to me from the universe. And I'm just the steward of that. So I'm happy to share too that I've been blessed for many years to give at least 10% of my income each year. And I've exceeded that, as I said. Now here at Unity of Palm Harbor, there are several ways of giving. And J.M. mentioned two of them. Yes. One of them is, we call it the Sunday bags, Sunday collection bags, little blue bags back in the back there that you see. And that's about 37% of our income, contributions and donations at the church. Then there's another one called e-processing, which includes direct bank drafts. You mentioned that one too. Credit cards. And I'll come back to that. And then PayPal. And mail-in checks. Mail-in checks is the largest of our methods of giving. Those checks are mailed in by members, and they come into the office and Luann into the mail. Luann has to record that and put it into our books. And that's 45%. That's the largest pot. Now, I use credit card. And the reason I do that is because I get Marriott Vacation Club points. And I have a lot of points. Almost everything I spend goes on that card. And so at the end of the year, They give me a nice report, and it breaks everything down, and it's good. Now, out of those 4 ways, some of them are considered consistent giving, and J.M. mentioned that as well. And the advantage of consistent giving is that it gives a forecast of how the church can operate. And it's just like those of us who get Social Security checks every month. We know in advance when it's going to come and the amount that it's going to come. So that's what consistent giving does. And what I do is I use my federal income tax filing to figure out what that 10% is. Then I make sure that I give at least 10%. Now, being a leader in the church, my approach is to lead by example. And you may recall at our annual meeting in February, those of you who were here, I made an appeal to the members of the congregation to increase giving because we had been falling short of our budget for several years. And before I made that appeal to you, I called Lou Ann and say, I want you to increase my giving in the e-processing system by an additional $50 a month. That comes out to $600 a month. And what we had figured out is that if everybody contributed another $300, we could close the gaps that we've seen for the last few years. And I did that before I appealed to you because I wanted to be a leader. I didn't want to ask you to do something that I wasn't doing myself. Last Sunday, I visited with First Baptist Church of St. Petersburg. And this is a copy of their bulletin. And on the back of it, there's an option to text to give. And I did that for the first time. It was very easy. You basically go to your text app, put in 5 numbers, and then put in the mnemonic for St. Petersburg, First Baptist Church of St. Petersburg. And it was very easy. And instantaneously, once I did it, I immediately got back the date, the time, the amount that I contributed. And the board, we're considering implementing text to give here as well. And it'll be very, very easy to do that. I would like to talk a little bit about what I learned being raised in the church. I was on the street of New York one time, and this guy was handing out flyers, and he said, would you take a flyer? And I didn't take it. But I took a few steps away, and I came back, and I said, I'll take one. He said, well, I'll change your mind. I said, well, I grew up in the church. And he said, well, did the church grow up in you? and it did. So I went to church when I was a little kid, every Sunday, 3 times a Sunday. And so I remember the teachings of the Bible on giving. And you all know this. Luke 6:38 says, give and it will be given to you. And 2 Corinthians 9:7 says, each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. And we've all heard that before. But I'm a teacher of God in A Course in Miracles, and I like to share what the Course in Miracles says. It goes a little further. What the Course in Miracles say is that giving and receiving are the same. They happen at the same time. And one of my favorite lines from A Course in Miracles that Jesus shares with us there is, into the hand that gives is the gift given. This is what this looks like. Into the hand, I'm giving, into the hand that is giving, the gift is given there. Giving and receiving is the same. And lastly, from the Course in Miracles, it says, nothing you give is lost to you or anyone, but cherished and preserved in heaven, where all of the treasures given to God's Son are kept for him and offered anyone who but holds out his hand in willingness that it be received. none of the treasure is lost, and it is given you each gift but as to the supply, for God is fair. So it's saying that everything we give it to ourselves, and we retain it eternally. So as a child of God, I've been given everything. And so I give as I have received. It adds to the supply because God is fair. My last point I'll leave is a question. And this is a question, miracle question. What is the one thing that God did not give to himself, that only his son could give to him? And those of you who may be interested in the answer to that question, you can come to the Course in Miracle and we'll have a discussion about it. Thank you very much.
Well done. Always leave them guessing. We're going to have our mission statement now. If you'll share with me and join with me in this mission statement, we'll say it together. To advance well-being by sharing compassion and inclusiveness with integrity and spirituality. Now, we have a special guest today that many of you know, Charlie Thweat. If you have not had a chance to hear him, you are in for a special treat. Charlie has inspired tens of thousands of people in 15 countries on 6 continents with his talks, concerts, and workshops. He has also been the musical opener for such luminaries as Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, Ram Dass, Tony Robbins, and Louise Hay. Boy, there's certainly some luminaries. Charlie has 18 life-changing music albums and has appeared on national television and radio. Well, he didn't actually appear on radio, but you get the picture, right? Charlie will be in our foyer and bookstore area after the service, so please take a moment to stop by and greet him and to support him by buying some of your favorite songs. And now for our congregational song, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Charlie Thweat.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. JM is a hoot. Well, usually I like to do a crowd-rousing, get on your feet congregation. I think I'm going to go mellow today. Is that okay? Can we just relax? This song is called I Am the Wind. And I actually like it when you're not reading lyrics above my head. You're just kind of being in the room. So I'll keep it simple. On the chorus, we're really singing about the I am presence in everything around us. So we're going to sing, I am the wind, I am the sun, I am the water, I am the earth resting beneath you. So this is like the I am singing to you and through you. Then I'll sing a verse and we'll come back to the chorus. So here we go. I am the wind, I am the sun, I am the water, I am the earth resting beneath you. So sing that with me. I am the wind, I am the sun, I am the wind, I am the sun, I am the water, the earth, I am the earth resting beneath you. Come lay your head, lean it on me, just let me hold you. You can relax, knowing I'm with you. I am the wind, the sun, I am the wind, I am the sun, I am the water, the earth, I'd like to hear. Tell me your story. You're not alone in this journey. I am the wind, the sun. I am the wind. I am the sun. I am the water. I am the earth resting beneath you. Come lay your head, lean it on me, just let me hold you. You can relax, knowing I'm with you. I am the wind, the sun, I am the wind, I am the sun, I am the water. I am the earth resting beneath you. Once more, I am the wind. I am the wind. I am the sun. I am the water. I am the earth resting beneath you. Beneath you. Thank you. Thanks. So let's sing about prayer. I'm going to use this song to go into a time of meditation. Sitting here in silence, talking to God, talking to God each day. Sitting here in silence, talking to God, talking to God, I pray. I can call for help anytime, talking to God each day. I can send out help anytime, talking to God, I pray. Will you sing with me? Sitting here in peace. Sing this with me. Sitting here in peace, talking to God, talking to God each day. Sitting here in peace. Sitting here in peace, talking to God, talking to God, I pray, I pray. I can call for help, I can call for help anytime, talking to God each day, each day. I can send out help, I can send out help anytime, talking to God, I pray, I pray. Let's do one more. Will you close your eyes for this last verse? We're going to meditation with this. Sitting here in beauty. Sitting here in beauty, talking to God, talking to God each day, each day. Sitting here in beauty, talking to God, talking to God, I pray, I pray. I can call for help, I can call for help anytime, talking to God each day, each day. I can send out help, I can send out help anytime, talking to God, I pray, I pray. I can call for help, I can call for help anytime, talking to God each day, each day. I can send out help, I can send out help anytime, talking to God. I pray. I pray. I pray. I pray. I pray.
Good morning to this time of meditation. And I invite you to keep your outer eyes closed as we've been led into this time and space so beautifully. At this time, we pray and meditate. Take a deep cleansing breath and relax into the chair. Perhaps placing your hands in your laps with your palms open and upward in that sweet and gentle gesture of being open and willing to receive all the good that our Father, Mother, Holy Spirit wishes to pour into each and every life. Open and willing. And I invite you as you breathe into this time and space to think of the color purple, the most beautiful shade of purple that you choose. And feel that purple light breathing up through your feet, vibrating the cells of the legs and knees, the hips, the torso, up into the head and settling at the base of the throat. Because this radiant purple light represents power in our 12 Powers study. And we know, Spirit of the universe, that each one of us is endowed with the power of truth. The truth we learn here, the truth we practice here and beyond the doors. And that center of power being at the base of the throat is the power of the Holy Word, the power of speaking the truth, being honest and open and kind and caring. And as we breathe in these positive attributes, we know that they are the truth attributes for us. That is why we're here today. That is why we're here at home, listening, caring, and sharing this truth of the power of the universe, the power of free speech, kind words, gentle reminders. But in this center of power, it is also the power that we have to not speak certain things, to hold our tongue, as my mom used to say, just hold your tongue. Because there's power in the unspoken words as well, the words that we internalize, cleanse, and reestablish as only good. So continue to breathe in this purple light. Feel it radiate. Feel the truth of our lessons here and the truth that we take beyond these four walls. And in this light, let us go into the silence and listen. Listen to what Spirit has for our next exercise in truth in the silence. We breathe back into this power that we have felt as a group meditating for 1 minute. We feel the power and the energy that we can now move forward, knowing truth, speaking truth, living truth from this power center within each and every body. And so it is. Amen and amen.
Storms will come and storms will go. It's not always fun, but then you'll know how to be free and let life prove you only are free when you let things move. Storms will come and storms will go. Just stand in the wind and let things blow. Blow you away and cleanse your soul. You're willing to say what you can't control, and then you fly on the wind, and then you soar into your beginning, and then you sail on the wind, and then you dive into your beginning. Into your beginning. Storms will come and storms will go. It's not always fun, but then you'll know how to be free and let life prove you only are free when you let things move. And then you fly on the wind, and then you soar into your beginning, and then you sail on the wind, and then you dive into your beginning, into your beginning, into your beginning, into your beginning. Storms will come. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, thanks. That's one of my wife's favorite songs. So I was imagining a room full of my wife listening too. If you're online, honey, hi. So my topic today, it doesn't matter, it's on your bulletin. It's Finding the Gift, subtitle, Must Be Present to Win. So it's like a raffle, you know. And being present is a lot of the game, isn't it? Just being present in our lives. Sometimes we get so caught up and our minds go elsewhere instead of just, right where life is happening. Must be present to win. You could put that on your mirror and read a lot into it. But finding the gift, and I want to start with a little story that I heard. Actually, a Unity minister told me this one. And this is something that happens back in the Middle Ages in the little town square. And there's this scaffold that's been built, and as it happens, 3 men are about to be executed at the guillotine. So already the story is hysterical, right? So anyway, so it's a doctor, a lawyer, and an engineer. True story, I'm sure. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, set to be executed, and it's the doctor's turn to go first. So he walks up the steps. Only something different happens. The executioner says, well, sir, you have a choice. You can do typical style, or you can turn around and face the blade. And the doctor says, well, okay, I'll face the blade. And he puts his head in the block. The executioner reaches up to pull the rope, and he pulls it, and here comes the blade, except it stops right before his neck. And the crowd murmurs, it's a miracle. And the executioner says, well, obviously the hand of God has saved you. You're free to go. So next up, doctor, lawyer, engineer. So it's the lawyer. Lawyer steps up and says, well, I'll face the blade too. And the executioner pulls the blade back up, and he reaches to the guy who puts his head in the block, reaches to pull it. Here comes the blade again, and again, stops right before his neck. The crowd murmurs, and he's free to go. So lastly, it's the engineer's turn. He says, well, I'll face the blade too, and he puts his head in the block, and the guy pulls the blade back up with a rope. And just as he's about to reach up and pull it, the engineer says, no, wait, I think I see the problem. Finding the gift. Maybe the engineer didn't find the gift in that situation. So I wrote a song a number of years ago, and the song is called It's All a Gift. And sometimes it's not easy to see that everything's a gift. But in this moment that the song came, I was singing for this intensive retreat in Italy. And I just had this heart-opening exercise, and I was sitting there crying, actually, with my hands kind of up in the air, and I heard this voice. And the voice kept repeating this one phrase. It just kept saying, it's all a gift. It's all a gift. It's all a gift. And somehow that just felt like truth just entering me deeper and deeper and deeper. Just everything is a gift. And that's not always easy to see, is it? But every single thing that's coming our way, there's something in it for us. And if you're like me, you're usually busy trying to bat it all away, like you have a ping pong paddle and just trying to keep life from coming at you. But what if your higher self is begging for growth? Your higher self wants to grow, wants these lessons, wants these challenges, wants this obstacle course. But your lower self is busy just saying, no, no, no. But you want that. You're calling for your next step. And it keeps coming. And we keep saying, when is it going to stop? Doesn't life kind of feel like that lately? Like one more thing, and then another thing, and another thing? But it's all, what if you could really feel the truth in that every single thing is a gift? And you're actually asking for it. Your higher self is begging for it. Can you be open to that? I took the EST training years ago. Anybody remember EST? Anyone do it? And I learned a few good things there. I think the impression that stood the longest with me is that, and I did it in 1980, so what is that? A long time ago, that's what that is. And The thing I remember the most, at one point, about halfway through this big intensive weekend, well, I remember two things the most. One is that you can't pee when you want to. And remember that? They say, and it was actually a good lesson, because it's easy to distract ourselves. We think we should take care of it, and then you leave the room and you miss the most important part you would have heard. So they wouldn't let you leave, because you can get over it and stay for the information. But the other thing is, the trainer on the stage at one point, he stood up at the top of his voice, he kind of yelled at us. I won't do it as loud as he did. But he said, "You need your problems. You need your problems." And I said, "What? What's he talking about?" I said, and then he said, "Without your problems, you'd have nothing to do." And there's some truth in that. There's some truth in that. And it's, again, our higher self is asking for ways to grow. And sometimes we don't see that that's what's happening. And I thought about this. A lot of people would say, "I don't want my problems. Why would I want problems?" And I got this image, and just follow me through this, if you will. Imagine you're going to sit down and watch a 2-hour movie. And so you get ready and you start the movie. And what if, because this is how we start movies now. We don't go to the theater much anymore. So you sit down to watch your movie. And what if, for the next 2 hours, everything went right? You're watching a movie in which for 2 hours everything goes right. Would that be interesting? No. You'd be bored to tears. You'd be bored to tears. But meanwhile, you want your life, you want everything to go right. And guess what? You'd be bored to tears. So maybe we do need our problems. It's a weird thing. I don't really want to affirm that, but there's some truth. There's some truth in there. You need your problems. Well, I've noticed that sometimes it can take a long time before you see a gift in things. Have you had this? Like, for instance, my divorce was actually 30 years ago this fall. And it was the worst thing that happened to me. And it took me years to get over it. And now I'm with a much better partner who's right for me. But at the time, I was like struggling, no. But life finally led me to the love of my life instead of someone that I thought was supposed to be my wife. And it took me a long time to see that. Has anyone else had that experience? It's like, a couple of times. You fight and you fight, but the universe is saying, just hang in there. We'll get there. Just hang on. There's a gift here. I had a little thing I noticed a few years ago, and this is from something from back when I was 10 years old. And it was a little pain in the heart of a 10-year-old. That it took me years to realize the gift. So this is what happened. I was in the 5th grade. It was the day before Valentine's Day, and our little assignment in the 5th grade was to get out our construction paper and our scissors and our paste and to put together a Valentine card, just to make up our own Valentine card. So I was doing that, sitting there, cutting and pasting, back when it really meant cutting and pasting. And I made, nobody finished their card that day, so she just said, "Okay, just take the card home, finish it at home, then bring it back and put it on my desk for your grade." So, which is weird, we're getting a grade on a Valentine card, but anyway. So I did, I took it home, I finished my cutting and pasting, and I thought, well, what am I going to write in here? Every card has to have a little verse. So I made up these 4 little lines, and I remember it just flowed really smoothly and quickly, and that's nice. So I folded it and finished it and took it in and set it on her desk the next morning. So about 5 minutes later, the teacher walks over to my little school desk and she says, "Charlie, I saw your Valentine's card and I can't give you credit. I'm going to have to give you an F for this card." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Well, I opened it up, I read what you wrote, and obviously you copied that out of a Hallmark card, and I can't give you credit. You cheated, obviously. It's obvious you cheated, and so you get an F." "No, I didn't. I wrote that. No, she wouldn't believe me. And I kind of understand. I was a bit of a rascal in the 5th grade, but still, she would never believe. I could never convince her. It's like, well, that's this little pain in a 10-year-old's heart. About 4 years ago, I recalled that whole incident, and I found the gift. And you know what it is? My teacher was telling me that as a 10-year-old, I was already writing at a professional level. And look what I ended up doing for a living. I write songs, I write poetry, all of that. It was showing up at 10 years old. So you can find a gift in almost anything. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. To see it, you must be present to win. Be present to what was going on. What was it? What was it? A lot of times we see things happening horrible in the world, and do you ever notice your mind wants to say, how could God let that happen? And that's, so we kind of almost make God this white-haired guy up in the I'm starting to look like God a little bit with the the white-haired man up in the clouds, pulling all the strings. Well, how could God let this happen? So for me, I think God is that energy of love and that creative energy that's all around us. And what that energy is letting happen is that we get to respond to whatever shows up in life. That's what God's letting happen is how we respond. There's every moment is a pivot point of choice. Every split second we are choosing. There's a fork in the road. We're choosing between love and fear. Which one are we going to go down? Which fork in the road are you going to go down? Every split second. That's what God's letting happen. What we bring to every situation. How we can be a gift, find a gift in whatever's happening. I wrote a song years ago, and I love what the chorus says. It says, it's a momentary choice, and I'm going through it constantly. Remembering which voice will bring my joy to me. It's a momentary choice, and I'm going through it constantly. Remembering which voice will bring my joy to me. You are going through it constantly. You've gone through it 1,000,000 times this morning. Every split second, where's your mind, which way are you going to go? Are you going to find the gift? Or are you going to find the horror? Are you going to find the reason to not love? Finding the gift. It's a momentary choice. When I first got involved in Unity, there was this big kind of music program that I got drawn into and loved. And if I were to characterize it, essentially it was a bunch of adults putting on elementary school musicals. That's kind of what, and I said, okay, whatever, I'll get involved because I wanted to do music. I wanted to sing about spiritual things and be in a community of people. So we'd be putting on these solstice and equinox productions led by kind of a hippie couple. So you'd see me on stage going, oh, in a group. But anyway, so it was fun and a great sense of community. And I remember just kind of being inspired. When you get around other people doing things, you get inspired. And so more music was starting to flow out of me by being around music. And I remember being home after church on a Sunday afternoon. And I was in the driveway washing my car. I remember I got to the hubcaps, back when we had hubcaps. Do I have hubcaps anymore? I don't know. So, and this little ditty came to me. Just a little simple song. I love what it says. And the words are, all the Christ inside me wants is for me to keep in touch. That's all that Christ inside me wants. All the Christ inside me wants is for me to keep in touch. And the little melody went like this. All the Christ inside me wants is for me to keep in touch. All the Christ inside me wants is for me to keep in touch. Will you sing that with me? All the Christ inside me wants is for me to keep in touch. One more time. All the Christ inside me wants is for me to keep in touch. And maybe that's the whole game. Maybe that's the whole game. Maybe we get lost. Just come back to that Christ self inside. Just live from that. And maybe we get lost in thinking it's terrible out there. Well, come back, because maybe that is the gift. It's just you can always come home to who you are, to that core self. Maybe that's the gift. You forget, you come back. You forget, you come back. All the Christ inside me wants, just keep in touch. Just keep remembering that in you. Finding the gift, must be present to win. I had an amazing experience happen where something happened that didn't feel like a gift at all. And in my world, I plan tour schedules 5-6 months ahead, and I'll fly into an area, rent a car, do 2 or 3 Unity churches, fill in some Mondays or some Wednesdays and Thursdays in between, and make a tour of it. I'd done this several years ago. I was living in California and had arranged a tour through South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. And again, you plan these 5-6 months ahead because church schedules, they have to plan ahead. And I think it was on the Thursday before I was flying out on Friday, I got a call from a church in South Carolina, and they were canceling my Wednesday, Thursday that was less than a week ahead, just on less than a week's notice. I thought, you can't do this, you can't do this. And I felt that for about 30 seconds until something in me said, well, I guess God wants me somewhere else. And I felt this sense of peace. I guess God wants me somewhere else. Maybe that would be a good mantra for you if something doesn't go right and it's like, well, you can't do that, you can't do that. Just maybe say, well, maybe God wants me somewhere else. So I went with that, and I thought, well, okay, where is somewhere else? So I was thinking, it's probably not going to be a church on 5 days' notice, so maybe house concert. And I remembered a friend in Virginia who had sponsored me before, and I called her up, and she said, sure, let's do that Tuesday night. And then there was a friend up in New Jersey, a little bit of a drive, but I had to rent a car, I can do that. And I said, can we do a concert maybe Thursday night? Because she'd been for years saying, hey, I've got this house on a lake, I'd love to have a concert sometime in the backyard. So she said yes. So okay, well I filled in a couple of things, a little extra driving I wasn't planning on, but. And then on Tuesday night, I got this text from an old girlfriend. She said, hey, I saw you're going to be about an hour from me on Thursday. I think I might come to the concert. And I thought, well, she's a nice friend still. We're in touch barely, but well, great. It'd be text back, yeah, it'd be nice to see you. And then on Wednesday night, she texts again, yep, I can definitely be there. I'll see you tomorrow night. Well, nice, okay. And she shows up Thursday night, and my heart just went ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. It's like, oh my God, I just fell in love all over again. It was amazing. We dated in the 90s, right? And then this is like 2015. And her name is Heidi, and we haven't been apart since. And we got married a year and a half later. Wow. And I guess God wanted me somewhere else. Do you see what happened? Finding the gift. Just be open to where's life ushering you instead of where your smart self thinks you're supposed to be and how life is supposed to go. Finding the gift. Must be present to win. Thank God. What if I had argued with that church in South Carolina? No, I'll come for nothing. I'll just make it happen. It's like, no. God wanted me somewhere else. And that's got to be true for you. It's just how open can you be to receiving the gifts that are trying to be given to you. Finding the gifts. I'm going to wrap up with one more story, and this has to do with something that could not possibly look like a gift. And I know many of you are going through this, and this has to do, not yourselves, but maybe someone in your family, or who knows. But my mom came down with Alzheimer's around age 76. And she went into a 7.5-year journey of decline until she finally passed around age 83. And how do you find the gift in that? And what I found, I was in the Northern California. I'd fly down where my parents were in Southern California regularly to get through there every 3 weeks if I could, 4 weeks, and just to be there and support Dad and have time with Mom while she was still cognizant. And what I discovered, now Mom was my first music teacher really. She taught me how to play ukulele when I was 8, and she had learned from her dad. And what I discovered was that when I would pick up the ukulele and start playing, she was right there. And some of you have heard of this, how music kind of unlocks some part in the brain that other things don't. And so I would play these songs she taught me, and she'd be right there knowing all the words and just look like her normal self, just singing along and happy. It's like, what is this? This is amazing. So, of course, I would come as often as I could bring her out like that. And when I look at that question, finding the gift, it can be a little bit of a what's in it for me. And what I discovered in this situation, it really to flip it to what's in it from me. how can I find a way to be a gift in that situation? And music was amazing. And I remember the last time I saw her was the day after Thanksgiving, and we were singing and playing and happily connecting with the music, and she passed away 3 weeks later, just gone. It's like she was done and moved on, but there was still that ability, even in the last weeks, to create a gift in that situation. What's in it from me? Finding the gift. How to be that essence in the world in whatever situation you're in. How to connect to that Christ. All the Christ inside me wants is for me to keep in touch. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. You are a gift to me. I want to be a gift to you. As our ushers start forward, I'm going to take just an extra moment and read you something called the Harvest Prayer. This is from our indigenous American peoples. Please be gentle with yourself and others. We are all children of the Creator, and none can say why some fields blossom while others lay brown beneath the harvest sun. Take hope that your season will come. Share the joy of those whose season is at hand. Care for those around you. Look past your differences. Their dreams are no less than yours. Their choices in life no more easily made. And give. Give in any way you can. Give in every way you can. Give whatever you possess. Give from your heart. To give is to love. To withhold is to wither. Care less for the size of your harvest than for how it is shared. And your life will have meaning, and your heart will have peace. And now if you will take your offerings in your hand, we'll recite our little offering prayer together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
So I wrote this song sitting on a cliff in Hawaii on the Big Island, and looking down at these waves that just kept coming and coming and coming, and realizing these waves will never stop. And life kind of feels like that sometimes too. There's always waves coming at us, trying to break us down. So this is about opening to life instead of fighting it. So sing with me on this chorus. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Will you sing that? Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. I'm lost in useless patterns that seem so comfortable, and things that used to work are now unbearable. Join me. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Whoa, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Your love is like a garden that you keep offering. You wrap me in that fragrance, and I keep opening. Wave after wave after wave after wave after. I'm letting down I'm letting down the wall. Whoa, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. I'm lost in useless patterns that seem so comfortable, and things that used to work are now unbearable. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. Whoa, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. 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 Thank you.
So I'll do my announcement now.
So just a brief reminder, I'll be in the back afterwards. I have some CDs if you'd like to take those home. I also have all 18 of my albums on a thumb drive for $30. So that's a pretty good deal, digital. And lastly, I have my 14th tour of Italy. After 3 years away from Italy, I'm finally doing another tour. So there are flyers back there. Who would like to go to Italy with me in October? I have 4 spaces left. I've already got 8 people signed up. So take a look at this. If it's calling to you, I'll bring my guitar. We have a great time. And thanks so much for having me back. It's great being here. Thank you.
Charlie Thweat, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I really envy that man his voice. I can remember when I had a range, something approximating that. Not anymore. That was great. Okay, could the ushers bring the offering forward, please, for just a moment? What goes around comes around, the universal law of circulation. We acknowledge that to the degree we participate in the flow of divine love for your creation, to such a degree shall we enjoy your unlimited abundance in both our spiritual and manifest lives, and we are forever grateful. Let it be so. And now, for something quite different, we are here to glow as the light of God.
We are the light of God.
We are here to embrace as the love of God.
We are the love of God.
We are here to stand in truth as the power of God.
We are the power of God.
We are here to radiate as the presence of God.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. And now, Charlie, if you'll help us with our peace song.
So we do this a cappella. Shall we stand?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Thank you so much.